Thank you for joining us on day one of TIA's Network of the Future conference right here in Dallas, Texas. We're joined by Franklin Flint. He's the Global Telecom Strategist and Marketing Director at Dell. Franklin, you're also the sponsor of TIA Now Studio right here at TIA 2014, and you have been for the last several years, and we appreciate your involvement in that.
Well, thank you. This is a really important event, and the work you guys do is really good for the industry, so we're very happy to bring it to everyone.
I'd like to start our short discussion today to kick off TIA 2014, talking about, and we do this often, talking about why people come to conferences like this. Why do they come to TIA's annual membership?
Well, these are great events because it brings together the real movers and shakers of the industry, the thought leaders, the scientists, the decision makers, and the executives. They're going to be developing the next generation of the network. They're going to be driving the telecommunications industry, and allows them to have conversations about the things that everyone cares about. Because it's one thing for one company to run off and try to solve all the problems, but it's so much more effective if everyone's working together to solve the problems that they share and to drive the technologies that they're all going to be using. And that reduces costs for everyone, it makes things move quicker, and it ensures compatibility, and it also helps to bring everyone together to deal with the government issues that they need to deal with.
Franklin, let's walk our viewers through the schedule, the program for the conference this year in Dallas. Let's start with the SDN tutorial, which actually was yesterday. What's the importance of a tutorial like that?
Well, it's great because SDN is this fabulous new technology, originally developed to make IT data centers and large cloud data centers to work the way that they need to, more automated, and make it easier for people to build their networks. But the telecom industry is going to benefit greatly from that once it's ready for them. There's some stuff that's already available to the telecom industry. There's more that's being developed now. And it's important that everyone learns how that works, how it's going to benefit them, and how they can take advantage of all the capabilities that SDN brings, because that will lower costs, speed things to market, and just make life better for everyone.
Franklin, as you know, a lot of talk around next generation networks, 5G networks in particular. We have an ed track that kicks off our conference today, which is actually going on right now, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a Dell representative on that panel. What's your interest in 5G networks?
Well, one of the big things Dell really cares about is connecting devices and connecting people. The ability to use technology to accomplish things, to make your life better, to make your business work better, that's what Dell lives for, and that's what we drive. And the move to 5G will enable much greater capabilities. It'll enable you to take greater advantage of the cloud. It'll make you get you much more connected everywhere that you go, so you can get more done. You don't have to be sitting in a cubicle or an office or somewhere with the best Wi-Fi signal around in order to get things done. And that's very exciting. There's also the big what if. If new technologies come out and give you more bandwidth, more capabilities, more connectivity, what are we going to do with that? And that gets to the imagination and the innovation that's going to come in the industry naturally. But by building that framework and the foundation to use it, it's going to be great to bring that out.
Franklin, later today there's a track on big data and privacy. What's the importance for data security in our industry right now?
Oh, it's very, very important. There's always the fear that as companies and governments collect more and more data, that it might get used in a malicious way. So having rules in place to help limit the honest players and how they use that data, as well as having ways to control access to that data through tools like security tools and encryptions and various other things, make it safer for people to get the benefits of big data without having to worry about it getting stolen or used in bad ways. With big data becoming as big as it is and growing like it is, they're collecting data on almost everything because they don't know what they need. And that's kind of the concept behind big data. Gather everything that you can and then learn what it means later and what you need to learn from it as you go. And then look back and get more data from the past even. And if you're collecting that much data, you got to make sure you control it and that no one has access to it that shouldn't have access to it.
Franklin, later today on this very stage, we have the Disruptors competition. It's various startups talking about their innovations and how they apply to our industry. Why are these startups interesting to a company, a powerhouse company like Dell?
Well, Dell is all about innovation. We always have been. We innovated back in the 90s ourselves, and then we acquired companies that are innovating today over the last several years. And without innovation, you don't get to the moving forward of the technology, the ability to use technology in better ways in the industry. And that's really what it boils down to. we need to encourage people to get out there and invent and create new things and to find ways to be free to do that without being hindered with the pain of having huge, business proposals or funding issues or things like that. There's so many brilliant people in this country and around the world who can do so many things to better our industry and to better our lives. It's up to companies like Dell and the members of the TIA to drive that and to make that happen. Without it, the future may not come around for us.
Tomorrow, Franklin, of course, we have a packed program as well as today. Starts off with a plenary session talking about the state of the industry, the state of play of the industry. What would you say the state of the industry is right now?
We're in the middle of a lot of change right now. There's been some consolidation that we got to figure out what that's going to mean. We have a lot of questions about how international business is going to take place, about how the technologies are going to be used. There's some security concerns that are becoming more and more prevalent as you hear more and more stories about large groups of people running like businesses to be criminal activities, as well as you hear about military groups doing things that they shouldn't be doing. It's really important that we understand all of that and we talk about that and figure out how to deal with it. But there's also a lot of greatness going on in the industry. We're moving into a new era where they're standardizing a lot of solutions. We have broader range of uses and capabilities. There's more inclusion in the solution stacks. A lot of the carriers are having to offer other people's solutions. It's really interesting what's going on. I think looking at the state on a regular basis is important, and this is a good time to do that.
Franklin, you mentioned security and cybersecurity. There's a cybersecurity panel tomorrow after lunch for our viewers out there. And you definitely touched on this in a couple of ways in your previous answer, but tell me about security in your business as far as marketing and selling OEM products. Are there growing pains in the security sector in your business, or is there something pivotal right now that you're dealing with?
There are a lot of security concerns, and what a lot of people are discovering is that solutions that they built that they never thought would have to have a lot of security built into it because of where it sits in the network or the kinds of things that they're doing, they're discovering that they actually do need to secure it because the malicious people are getting more advanced in how they get to things, how they control networks, how they grab data out of the network. And being able to secure solutions that have already been developed becomes more and more important. Now, Dell does own a lot of IP in the security space, and we can offer that to our OEM partners to grow. We also have a lot of security consulting, where we can help people with our expertise develop their own security solutions to be unique and be different from what other people are doing. And so for us, it's a really big deal to do that. Also, without security, the industry just can't continue to grow. All of our customers need to be seen as having secure solutions. They can't be seen as being risky or something that's going to hinder other people's freedoms and other people's security. So we need to help them be able to do that and talk about that.
Well, security is definitely a topic that we're talking about here at TIA 2014. We hope you enjoy your stay, and we're also going to catch up with you at the end of the conference to get your perspective and take on the goings-on here at the Hyatt Regency in Dallas, Texas,
Yes.
again for our viewers. We appreciate your sponsorship for the TI Now studio, and I'm sure we'll see you in the future. And of course, we'll see you in a couple of days right here on the stage. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, thank you for joining our coverage of TIA's Network of the Future conference. The Dell TI Now studio will be streaming live throughout the conference, June 3rd through 5th. You can view our live stream and all of our programming at tinow.org. So long.